The release of Spider-Man Into the Spiderverse took Spider-Man and Marvel fans by storm. The well-crafted story of a Spider-Man named Miles Morales and the very cool and unique animation style that made fans feel like they were watching a comic book come to life. The sequel, Across the Spider-Verse, exceeded expectations and left fans eager for the third and final movie after a huge cliffhanger at the end of the second film. As frustrated as fans could have felt with the cliffhanger, it didn't seem too bad as the third film was scheduled to release less than a year after the release of the second film. Across the Spider-Verse was released June 2nd, 2023, and the third film was scheduled for March 29, 2024 release date. But now, we're in 2025 without a release for the third installment for this trilogy, which is leaving fans to ask, what is happening? After years since the second film, we are finally getting some positive reassurance about the production of this movie. The first hiccup that this film has faced was the SAG actors strike, which prevented the actors in recording their lines. But that strike only lasted a few months, which should have still allowed for the film to release within 2024, but just towards the end of the year. That is when new reports have come out saying that there wasn't even a script made yet for the film as there were creative differences. That led to Sony not even having directors for this film, which left a big question on how they even expected to have such a quick release date for the third film after the second one. The release date made it seem like lines were already recorded and they were just finishing up with animation if the next film was less than a year away. So instead of a 2024 release date, speculations are that the release wouldn't be until 2026 at the earliest, but for the worst, it could be 2027 or even 2028 if they continue to have problems. But after a recent interview with voice actor for Miles Morales, Gerald Jerome, we are looking on the brighter side of it all as we shouldn't need to worry about a release date as late as 2028. He has stated that the film does have its directors, with Bob Persichetti and Justin Thompson to take on this role. And he said they're just about ready to start recording their lines. That is all good news as the creative differences must all be concluded now and a script is finally written for the actors to take their part in recording their lines. The production time frame for an entire cast to record their lines for an animation film can take as little as several weeks to a few months, depending on actor schedules and the complexity of the film. So if we were going to take a guess at this time frame, considering they're just about ready to begin recording their lines, let's just say they start recording at the end of February. And the recording process takes somewhere on the longer side, so let's just say 4 months tops. This would have them finish recording their lines by around June. All that leaves for them now is the animation, which this type of animation does take a long time to render, but I would assume that they would even start the animation for the film before lines are even finished recording. But even if they just started the animation in June, that still would give them a full year and a half to complete the film before 2027. So even though they didn't officially come out with a release date for this film yet, I think they should be able to release it by the end of 2026 if they are just about to start recording character lines. I am a huge fan of this franchise, and I don't want them to rush this movie at all, so they can take their time and give this trilogy an amazing ending. But I just wish they didn't tease all the fans with such an optimistic release date of March 2024. But at least we are finally getting some positive news after over a year of being in the dark. Let me know what you think about the Spider-Verse franchise, what you hope to see out of the final movie, and when you think this movie will release by.